from it. So like I dropped off my a kid at my in-laws today, and we just accidentally we started talking about COVID, and then it just goes from there. And what they do is they just either have to constantly like change the subject or dismiss. They always seek to dismiss because if you don't know anything, just like critical theories, just to undermine and want to feel like you're in the conversation, dismissal is like one of the greatest things you can do. Like, oh, you're just a rebellious young man. You'll get there, something like that. As opposed to like, this is why you're stupid. We're gonna end it right here. This fact is wrong. It's undermined because of this. And so what happens is we'll just get into COVID and then talk about it being way too extreme, and we don't consider like the costs of what we're doing. We only look at it as it's a good. So then anything is justified. You could just send people in their houses and make sure that nobody dies of COVID. And,
hey, what if we just welded people into their apartment buildings for a month? That'd just shut it down.
Right. It's for becoming good. I don't see why not.
Well, then it becomes like talk about, well, it's the government's role to protect us.
Oh, yeah.
Just as it's the government's role to.
No, it's actually not.
You want seatbelts to be, you probably wouldn't want seatbelts, and you probably wouldn't want airbags, and it just kind of like.
No, I don't.
What about roads?
Right.
But what about the roads, Jack?
God. Hashtag more roads.
We didn't quite get to roads.
The amazing roads we have that last maybe 5 years, and yet Roman roads still last thousands of years. Sure.
Well, it becomes like a dichotomy of like, you want people to die, therefore you're not seatbelts.
You want people to die.
Yeah. No. I'm also think that seatbelts are good, and the market would provide for those because people do care about whether their family dies or not.
Usually.
I don't think that you have some people that don't wear them, and I think you have a right to be stupid. That's just there's
that's
the whole
Darwinism
thing about,
in action, right?
Right. Well,
to a certain extent.
You guys know about the Darwin Awards website? I'm sure you do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My greatest fear is to wind up on it someday.
we slipped into one of the dumbest things her mom had said. It was pretty hilarious.
Oh no.
The whole thing was just them moving from the next thing, and then to the next thing. Well, then to the next thing, and trying to get something to stick, and then just like nope, and then
got to shift them goalposts.
But she fell into like the dumbest hole. She was like talking about the need for bringing more money to education in the inner cities. I don't know how we got there. And it's not a more money issue. We pay one of the highest per students in the world, even in the inner city. It's the mechanism how we use these funds. You can't attach the money to the school or to the state. You have to attach it to the student and then let the market appear. That's what a voucher system is. And she was like, you can't, the whole theme was how liberals are just like have the heart of a tyrant, meaning like they want to control what other people's behavior is. They think other people make the wrong decision as opposed to individuals all making their own decision. And that was kind of the theme of our conversation. That was an example. And she was like, well, you can't just give money to the student or to families, because poor families will just spend the money on like a car or drugs. And I was like, hold on. Do you think that you can turn a school voucher into drugs? You can go and get a heroin brick with a $14,000 school voucher. I was like, is that how you think this works?
Wait, is this like a woke like liberal person who like said that and then thinks that like
this is the kind of person that writes letters to
like wait a second,
Lawrence O'Donnell at MSNBC.
That is like a savior complex as fuck.
Well,
it's so dehumanizing.
I
don't think people realize that they have superiority complexes and that they're dehumanizing people under the guise of trying to help them. That's actually covert narcissism.
Right.
Like textbook covert narcissism.
Let's say a blend of narcissism and an appallingly low opinion of the people they claim to be in favor of saving at the same time.
Right.
Exactly. I'm going to educate my kids. I'm going to buy a big brick of heroin.